Enoch is a figure that is cloaked in mystery and folklore, and he holds a distinguished position in the discourse of both religious and historical topics. In the book of Genesis, he is mentioned briefly and characterized as a man who walked consistently with God and was carried immediately to heaven without having to go through the process of dying. Nevertheless, it is not the brief mention of Enoch in Genesis that has captivated the imagination of researchers and believers for millennia. Rather, it is the collection of writings that are credited to him and are known as the Book of Enoch. Where did the Book of Enoch come from? It is believed that the biblical patriarch Enoch was the author of the Book of Enoch, which contains in-depth explanations of the beginnings of the universe and the early phases of human history. In Genesis, there is a mysterious individual named Enoch who is referred to as being known for his exceptional righteousness. In addition to his mysterious legacy, the Bible claims that he was transported to paradise without ever having to go through the process of dying. Although it is not included in the canonical scriptures of the majority of Christian denominations, the Book of Enoch, which is often referred to as First Enoch, is considered to be significant in certain theological traditions, such as Ethiopian Orthodoxy. The Book of Watchers, the Book of Parables, and the astronomical books are some of the components that make up this book. Each of these sections delves into a different facet of Enoch's visions and revelations. The writing of Enoch provides a fresh viewpoint on the cosmology of the ancient world by describing the disappearance of the Watchers, who were angels who were responsible for the birth of the Nephilim, a race of giants. In addition to this, his accounts dig into the characteristics of the skies, the motion of the heavenly bodies, and predictions concerning the impending judgment. For ages, researchers and theologians have been attracted by the mysterious figure of Enoch and his writings. These writings offer an insight into early Jewish mysticism and apocalyptic literature. The legacy of Enoch continues to pique people's interest and arouse their curiosity about his life and the heavenly experiences he had, despite the fact that it has left more questions than answers. A brief history of popularity and references. Scholars from the early Christian and Jewish communities, such as notable church leaders, such as Justin Martyr, Irenaeus, and Tertullian, frequently referred to and revered the Book of Enoch. At the time it was written, this ancient literature had a major impact and was just as popular as reading the Harry Potter series is today. Rich accounts about angels, demons, and the beginnings of evil were offered to early Christians and Jews by the Book of Enoch, which also made a significant contribution to the development of numerous theological disputes. Because of the passage of time, the credibility of the Book of Enoch began to decline, despite the fact that it had first gained a lot of popularity and was regarded in high regard. At the Council of Laodicea, which took place between the years 363 and 364 AD, the Book of Enoch was omitted from the canonical scriptures. This was the moment that marked a turning point. It was because of this decision that the book was relegated to the background and eventually disappeared from the canon of popular religious writings. For a great number of centuries, the Book of Enoch was virtually forgotten, and its sole source of survival was in the illusions of a small number of scholars and in isolated communities. The book was not rediscovered until the 15th century, which sparked a renewed interest among historians and theologians, among those who were interested in the subject. This rediscovery made it possible for the Book of Enoch to be appreciated once more for the historical and religious significance it possesses, despite the fact that it is not included in the traditional canon of the Bible. Content and the rediscovery of it. There are 5 separate portions that have been revealed as a result of the finding of manuscripts of the Book of Enoch, which were written in the ancient Ethiopian language, Ge'ez. These sections dive thoroughly into Enoch's mystical visions, his contacts with the Watchers, and his profound predictions, including forewarnings concerning the Great Flood. These priceless documents were discovered to have been maintained within the secret collections of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, which has been protecting such spiritual treasures for a very long time. An unusual look into the life and revelations of Enoch, a mysterious person in the annals of religious history, can be found in the Book of Enoch. Each section of the book has narratives that are rich and extensive, and they describe his visionary excursions, the heavenly knowledge that was given to him, and the celestial beings that he encountered, who are referred to as the Watchers. It is important to note that these Watchers, who are frequently portrayed as fallen angels, play a significant part in the development of Enoch's predictions, particularly those that foretell catastrophic disasters, such as the Great Flood. Not only does the discovery of these documents improve our comprehension of Enoch's experiences and theological contributions, but it also brings to light the crucial role that the Ethiopian Orthodox Church had in the preservation of these ancient treasures. Through the use of this astonishing discovery, academics and theologians are able to investigate the profound spiritual insights that Enoch gained, so contributing to the expansion of the fabric of historical and theological knowledge. Content that is controversial and exclusionaries. The problematic content of the Book of Enoch, which includes visions, predictions, and apocalyptic themes, led to its exclusion from the Bible and its classification as apocryphal. The Book of Enoch is an ancient Jewish literature. A substantial contribution to the formation of the Hebrew canon was made by the Council of Yavne, which took place around the year 90 CE. During this meeting, Jewish academics attempted to establish which writings were deemed to be divinely inspired and were in accordance with Jewish tradition. The Book of Enoch did not satisfy their requirements for a number of different reasons. First and foremost, the content of the book was seen to be excessively speculative and imaginative, which was a substantial departure from the accepted theological and doctrinal norms of the period. In contrast to other canonical scriptures, the Book of Enoch contains extensively detailed accounts of celestial realms, angelic beings, and esoteric knowledge. These narratives were regarded as being incompatible with the other texts. In the second place, there was a lack of universal acceptance of Enoch across the various Jewish groups. It was more likely that texts that did not have widespread acceptability would be excluded in order to preserve the unity and coherence that existed within the religious tradition. Another possibility is that the themes of judgment and the end times that are presented in Enoch were seen to be excessively radical or upsetting. A more consistent and orthodox theological foundation for Judaism was the goal of the council, which was the reason why such texts were excluded from consideration. It was for this reason that the Book of Enoch was not. This ancient document, which is said to have been written by Noah's great-grandfather, provides a detailed depiction of angelic hierarchies, divine justice, and the nature of the cosmos. Detailed accounts of these heavenly beings, their crimes, and the divine wrath that follows. The traditional readings of the Bible have been called into question by this account, which has sparked discussions regarding the theological implications of the story. Additionally, the book's insights into cosmology and the afterlife present the disputes that have taken place regarding the Book of Enoch are reflective of broader issues regarding the limits of sacred texts and the eligibility requirements for inclusion in the biblical canon. The Book of Enoch is nevertheless considered an important text for understanding ancient Jewish thought and the ways in which it influenced early Christian beliefs, despite the fact that it is inherently disputed. Theories of conspiracies and the truths that are inconvenient. This content contains tales of giants that are the product of unions between angels and human women. It has been suggested that this narrative runs counter to the conventional biblical stories, which has led to a number of different interpretations regarding the denial of the book. There are detailed depictions of these Nephilim giants and the fall of the Watchers, angels who dropped to earth and participated in unlawful affairs with humans, that can be found in the Book of Enoch, an ancient Jewish literature that is credited to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. These tales offer a more complicated and supernatural perspective on human history, which stands in stark contrast to the more subdued accounts that can be found in the Bible's canonical collection. Those who believe in conspiracies frequently point to the fact that early church authorities excluded the Book of Enoch from the official canon as an example of an attempt to conceal inconvenient truths. According to their argument, such narratives posed a threat to the orthodox teachings of the early Christian church and pose a challenge to the established theological ideas. Despite the fact that mainstream researchers often ascribe the exclusion to the late writing of the book and the lack of widespread acceptance of the book, the discussions surrounding the book's contents and its suppression continue to fascinate and stir thinking among both academics and conspiracy theorists. Notable citations from early Christian writings include, according to the majority of Christian and Jewish traditions, the Book of Enoch was not included in the canon of the Bible, despite the fact that it was mentioned in early Christian texts and that Jude mentioned it in the New Testament. Detailed stories of visions, angelic beings, and predictions can be found in the Book of Enoch, which is an ancient Jewish apocalyptic literature, meeting angelic beings and discovering mysteries from the heavens. In addition to shedding insight on ancient beliefs and customs, the contents of this book, which range from apocalyptic visions to moral instruction, reflect the spiritual climate of the historical period in which it was written. In spite of the fact that it is not included in the established canon of scriptures, the Book of Enoch has persisted through translations and interpretations across a wide range of countries and ranges. The exploration of cosmic realms and the interplay between mankind and the divine is a source of inspiration for many people, as it prompts them to reflect on existential problems and the nature of spirituality. Therefore, regardless of whether it is regarded as a literary oddity or a profound monument to ancient knowledge, the Book of Enoch continues to captivate and motivate readers. It provides a glimpse into the rich fabric of religious thinking and imagination. You now have a complete understanding of the history of the Book of Enoch, which is both fascinating and controversial. Please remember to give this video a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting material. Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section regarding the Book of Enoch and its position in the annals of history. We appreciate you watching.